Hello everyone and welcome back to the Blackfoot Book Club and another edition of my Essential Film Reviews collection. And here, get ready, I'm now going to try and pronounce some difficult Irish words. Hooray! Well, the long wait is over. I've finally seen the Banshees of Inisherin, and should you be seeking a cold, stark, bleak, straightforward, black-humoured film, you're in for a treat. Here are your two principal players. Pádraig Suliban, Colin Farrell. A simple farmer on the rugged coast of Ireland, Pádraig is seemingly content with life surrounded by a subsistence existence, the company of his sister and his one true remaining friend on the island. On the surface, Pádraig is the happy face in a small rural community, but beneath the exterior beats a somewhat lonely and unhappy man who lives for the regularity of his early morning toil and drinking with his friend at the local pub at 2 p.m. When faced with the stone-cold rejection of his one true friend, "I don't want to be friends with you anymore," Pádraig questions whether he is dull, or dim, or boring, whilst also recognising the starkly obvious. He's genuinely one of life's good guys, and he cannot comprehend how his best friend is fiercely determined never to speak to him again. Seeking solace and friendship with a troubled and abused young boy and a donkey he allows to live in the house, Pádraig is slowly and surely deteriorating before life on the island takes a turn for the macabre. Coen Brothers, Brendan Gleeson. Amateur yet passionate fiddle player and folk musician, Colm is very definitely not dying but has a renewed sense of urgency toward a legacy he'll leave the island in terms of his music, and he desperately wants his life to have meaning and something to show for it. Cutting off his friend Pádraig is seemingly a rational and simple decision, as he cannot waste any more time surrounded by his whispering, dull company, and would rather spend his time alone, composing first a new song, the Banshees of Inisherin, before a raft of others as he enjoys both his life and the legacy that will follow his death. Colm is both manipulated and the manipulator and instigator of the continuingly largely unspoken of break in friendship, but unable to find any suitable peace for all, is forced to take matters into his own hands. Whilst the Pádraig character is fairly and squarely on screen, I saw a duality in the Colm character that spoilers won't allow for, but suffice to say, both Farrell and Gleeson are excellent. In support of these headline roles are just 18 further characters, in which one is a beautiful pony named Minnie. Of the human characters that populate this charming, if desolate and rugged Irish Isle is a truly standout performance from Kerry Condon, who returns to a Martin McDonagh directed film, but with a much larger role than she enjoyed in 2017's Three Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri, and is simply brilliant as Pádraig's want-away sister, Siobhan. Pat Short holds court as local pub owner John Joe Devine, David Pearce excels in his cameo role as the local priest, and Sheila Flitton is astounding as local elder and deliberately ethereal and a wraith-like figure in Mrs. McCormick. Saving the best supporting role until last, Barry Keoghan impressed me greatly once again following his portrayal in 2017's Dunkirk, with a heartbreaking performance of exclusion and familial abuse as Pádraig's new friend and drinking buddy, Dominic Kearney. Set in 1923, and with the Irish Civil War still continuing just across the small causeway separating the island from the locally known mainland, this is by no means a laugh-out-loud comedy, but when the comedy does arrive, it's either cloaked in a continually dark black humour or the brilliant bitterness that only shocking comedy of this kind can produce. For this, see the examples of Pádraig leaping behind the man-made wars that score their way through the island and hoping to avoid the community elder Mrs. McCormick, or his lament that she never feckin' says hello when he does deign to pass her on the roadway instead of hiding. See also the raging argument that sees Colm cause with the local priest during confession, forcing the bedraggled man of God to exclaim, "You'll be pure fucked!" in exasperation and in front of a healthy and building church-going congregation. Aided by a beautiful music score from Coen Brothers regular Carter Burwell and the wide-angled cinematography of Ben Davis, who also returns from doing likewise on Three Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri, this is yet another difficult-to-define comedy from London-born Martin McDonagh, but perfectly in keeping with his Oscar winner from 2017 and In Bruges from 2008. I've been a fully paid-up member of his cinematic fan club since this film nearly 15 years ago, and through the various existential prisms of loneliness, death, living a life to be remembered, friendship, depression and the passage of time, McDonagh has written, directed and created another absolute gem once again. And that was The Banshees of Inisherin from 2022, directed by Martin McDonagh. And this is Stephen Blackford, reading and writing pointless but spoiler-free film reviews since 2012. And I leave you in peace and in solidarity. And I thank you so much for watching. Peace, everyone.